turning this plain bag into a Deadpool piece of art. First stage, prep, using Angelus DEGLAZER to take the factory finish off the bag. Now it's time to get the paints out. I always like to start with a plain white background, so I've added 2 or 3 coats of white. The white background gives a great base to start sketching on. So now I can do my favourite part, which is getting stuck in with the paint. The first thing I do is paint some of the background in. It's not finished at this stage, but it's just a base to start from. And then it's straight onto the body. I'm adding loads of layers of the base colours. I'm blocking all the red in. It's kind of time consuming, a little bit tedious at this stage. And it's definitely at the trust the process stage because it looks rubbish at the minute. The important thing is to just stick with it. Loads and loads of very thin layers, allowing the paint to dry in between each layer. And how many times can I say the word layer there? I'm a poet, but I don't know it. Anyway, you get the gist. And I'll do you a bit of a favour here and speed these really tedious parts up just to kind of move the video along a little bit so you're not here all day. And you've probably noticed by now that I don't and I can't stick to one place. I don't know why, but I'm kind of a painter that flits around all over the place. So sorry if that's irritating, but it's just how I work. It's a little bit chaotic, but you know, hopefully I get there in the end. Right, finally, a little bit more detail. So I'm starting off with the eyes, as you can see, building up the colours and gradually trying to add the shading effect. So adding the highlights, starting off with the grey, going on to the black, and then adding highlights at the end. And I just wanted to say a quick thank you if you're here and you're watching. I really, really do appreciate you. It blows my mind that people actually watch my art and stuff. So yeah, a big thank you to that. And if you do like the video, I would love if you'd give me a subscribe or a like or a share. That would be amazing. And a comment. I always love to hear from you. So feel free to do that too. An important tip, I guess, is when you're doing like the facial features and all the other parts, really, the rounded body parts, you need to kind of follow the contours of where the face would go, like the face shape. So it gives the illusion that, you know, that is like a 3D effect. I'm adding a little bit more background here just to make the face stand out, you know, give it a little bit of a pop. Okay, so I'm now on to the darker areas of his costume. I'm starting out with the grey, adding some black, and then I'm adding more and more white highlights as I go along. As you'll see again, I will flip backwards and forwards over certain areas and keep going over and over them, adding more and more detail, more texture, and just building it up gradually. And again, I'm following the contours of the body, trying to make things look more realistic and rounded. And if you're still with me so far, thank you so much for sticking with the video. I really, really appreciate you being here. And give me some advice. I'm kind of learning as I go along with YouTube. So let me know if you like these longer videos. Let me know if you like the voiceovers. It's not something that I've done very much of, so I'm kind of learning as I go along. But if you give me some idea of the kind of things that you'd like to see, then I'll try and do my best to make that happen for you. I don't think I'll ever be brave enough to appear on camera. So, you know, you might have to just put up with my hands and my voice. I even hate hearing that. So, you know, it's not something that I'm comfortable with, but, you know, I am trying to push myself a little bit out of my comfort zone. So we'll see how it all goes. As always, my favourite parts are like the details because you can now start to see everything coming together. When you're painting things, they go through a really ugly stage where everything just looks so rubbish and bad that you think sometimes, well, very often I'll scrap something and start all over again. So it's good to like get that reward at the end of sticking with it because it is such, you know, I don't even know how long this bag took. It took so many hours. Yeah, so it's nice to get the details on and to see it all starting to really spring to life, you know, before your eyes. It's really great to see it happening. And pretty soon now, this is the worst part for me. I don't know why. I always do it to myself. I always do. I always leave the hands until last because I really find them hard. So, noses and hands are kind of like, the two main things that I really struggle with. So, yeah, the hands are here. I can't delay it any longer. The good thing about this is they're in gloves, so it's a little bit easier, but we got there in the end. Again, as with the rest of the body, really, it's really important to follow the contours to make the fingers and all the parts of the hand look as realistic as possible, so as rounded as possible. So I'm trying to consciously do that. And then it also helps with having like the highlights on as well, because they can also give that illusion. So yeah, the highlights at the end really help to make them more realistic again. So we're almost there. We're on the home straight. I'm just adding loads more little details here and there. And then last minute, I kind of finished the bag. Then I decided that I was going to add some bullet holes, just to kind of give it that final touch. And I was pleased with how they came out. I think that, that kind of finished it off quite nicely. I forgot to film the part where I add the final top coat to keep the bag all pristine. And to protect it also. I used Liquid Kickz top coat for this in the matte finish. I did 2 to 3 coats of that, and that finished it off lovely. Thank you so much for sticking with me, guys. If you've made it to the end, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in another video. Thanks so much, guys. Take care. Bye.